Millie Weaver reporting for Infowars.com. We are here at the Freedom Force International Conference in Phoenix, Arizona, and I'm here with Patrick Wood, author of Technocracy Rising.
Technocracy, in my opinion, is the end goal of the global elite, which I've studied for over 40 years, going way back to 1978. I also discovered, as I connected some dots, that this was the plan that the Trilateral Commission started or kicked off in 1973 when they said they're going to foster a new international economic order. Technocracy started out in 1932 at the Columbia University in New York City. That was the seedbed of progressivism in that time. And later, when Zbigniew Brzezinski, who co-founded the Trilateral Commission, wrote his book Between Two Ages, and then later was partnered up with David Rockefeller to start the Trilateral Commission. Brzezinski was a professor of political science at Columbia University. Brzezinski and Rockefeller together saw that they could use technocracy as a replacement economic system to dominate the resources of the world. The technocrat mind that really is promoting technocracy, and that's not every scientist and engineer by a long shot. It's really a relatively small minority. But their mindset is they don't need public approval to do what science says they should do. So if they can justify whatever it is they're going to do according to the scientific method, they feel, we'll just do it. That's dangerous thinking, that somebody else would be running your life for you, like they know better than you, and you got no say about it. You know, you can go here, you can go there, you can't go here, you can't go there, you can't buy this, you can't buy that. You know, you have to ride a bicycle to work 3 days a week. I mean, all the crazy stuff they're coming up with. You don't want that kind of control, but they want to do. They say, well, this makes sense. This is going to cut down on energy. It's going to cut down on carbon or whatever. What they were trying to do as scientists and engineers, they didn't view themselves as being political, just autocrats. We're just going to do it. But their whole thing was that they were going to create a resource-based economy based on energy.
A resource-based economy. This is where all goods and services are available to everyone without money, credit, barter, or servitude of any kind. For this to be attained, all resources must be declared as the common heritage of all the Earth's people.
They wanted to give everybody energy script. They were going to give like an allocation, like we have food stamps today. They were going to figure out how much energy would be say for the next month would be generated, and everybody in society would get their script. A scientific dictatorship puts kind of, if you will, an invisible manacle around your neck that will control you it'll control your behavior, it will control your choices. And all of those things are set by policy, by algorithms, if you will.
What is it? Is it on?
Oh, it's always on. It uses far-field technology so it can hear you from anywhere in the room.
So it can just hear you anywhere?
Yes.
We partnered with fellow robots to bring you Lobot. Need to find something? Lobot can show you, and in multiple languages. Lobot also helps our team by constantly monitoring inventory.
Somewhere along the line, I ended up getting a microchip implanted inside my hand to see if I could be the first person in the world to pay for something out in the real world. The chip felt to me like the furthest possible extreme of, futuristic technology.
This is your daughter, and she just got this. But you've got Hum, so you can set this. And if she drives like this, you'll get this. You can even set boundaries for her. So if she should be here, but instead goes here, you'll know.
MileIQ runs quietly in the background on your phone and automatically tracks your miles. With one swipe classification, it's easy to sort your trips into personal or business categories.
The state of Oregon is going to institute a GPS device for automobiles that will track your mileage everywhere you drive. And when it gets close enough to a data collection, it'll go boom and collect your data. They intend to send you a customized gas tax bill, a road tax bill. Their idea is to take your carbon footprint which is derived from other data about you, things you purchase, how big is your house, what kind of cars do you own. They want to take that data and further customize your tax bill. And if you're a hog, why, you might pay double. But if you ride public transit to work and you live in a tiny house and you don't use much water or whatever, maybe you only take a shower 3 days a week or something, why, you might get a rebate. The global warming, whole topic of global warming is not the end. It's only the means to an end. If I scare you to death with global warming, so you've got to do something, you have to do something today, the only solution that there is being held out by the United Nations is sustainable development, which I say is warmed over technocracy from the 1930s. This was replacement economic system. So they scare you with this over here, and they want you to run into the arms of sustainable development. They don't give you any other options.
The Venus Project would start with a systems approach to city design, using highly effective construction methods, emphasizing the conservation of resources.
The first city would be a huge research center, making automated systems for the next city. It would be a place where we would disseminate information as to what sustainability really means for the future.
The ability now to, with one click on an app, customers have access to information. It gives them much more control over their lives. And they expect out of a business like ours. They don't differentiate between, well, we'll stick with the usual McDonald's experience, but we'll get greater convenience for everywhere else. They're expecting us to evolve.
Recently, some of these states implement these minimum wage laws where they've increased the minimum wage to as much as $15 an hour. And now we're seeing McDonald's, one of these corporations, and others, talking about that they are actually going to be putting in machines and replacing these workers in order to get out from underneath having to pay them that wage. Is this more examples of a technocracy rising?
The so-called fourth industrial revolution concerns the Internet of Things, it concerns artificial intelligence, and it concerns robotics. And it's expected within 10 years that robotics may well displace up to 50% of all the workers in the world that do anything, especially in America.
Do you want to destroy humans? Please say no.
Okay, I will destroy humans.
Don't destroy humans.
Global companies that are bought into this whole new economic order stuff, the green economy, these are the companies that are going to control everything, and there's not very many of them. The industry's been consolidating for the last 20, 30 years. You've only got like 6 news organizations in the whole world now. You look at the agricultural industry, you got 6 companies dominating the entire thing, like ADM and Cargill and Monsanto. There's no competition hardly anymore. It's almost a monopoly. And this is industry after industry after industry, and you look around and you say, man, we're getting squeezed out. Where's the opportunity for a little guy if he has an idea? Technocracy.news is my ongoing saga of curated news from around the world on technocracy. Technocracy is not a myth, it's real. And people need to see this as another, I call it a 5th column of bad actors in the world. They're not politicians. They're not communists, they're not socialists, they're technocrats.
Wow.
And I tell you, they have a different view of the world and a different agenda that we need to uncover and expose.